today we're going to make another one of our favorites. It's a cheesecake, though quite frankly I don't know anything that isn't a family favorite. But we're going to start with 1.5 cups of graham crackers, crushed graham crackers. You can buy the pre-made ones that are already crushed, or I personally prefer to buy the graham crackers whole and ground them in the food processor. But I didn't have any, and we're using what we can right now. So this is 1.5 cups of graham crackers. And then I have here a half a cup of sugar. Now for the graham crackers and the sugar, it's a 3-to-1 ratio. So it's, if you use a cup of graham crackers, it's 1/3 of a cup. But I have 1.5 cups, so it's a half a cup of sugar. And then I'm gonna take that and just combine them. And the reason that I'm using a little bit more graham crackers than is on a standard recipe is because I use a larger pan, springform pan. That's what I have here. I cover it in aluminum foil. But the reason I use a little bit more is we like a little bit thicker crust, and we want the crust to be on the whole bottom of the pan, cover the whole bottom of the pan. In here I have 6 tablespoons of butter, melted, that I'm going to mix and combine and just get it so that all the crumbs, all the graham cracker crumbs are coated with butter, because that becomes our crust. I have preheated my oven to 350 degrees, and I'm going, once these are all combined, I'm going to take the graham crackers and press them into the bottom of the springform pan. Okay, so we're gonna just put that into the pan. So we're gonna move it around, press it down. I like to try to bring it up the edge a little bit, bring it up to up the sides a little bit, and just keep pressing it into the pan. It doesn't have to be really in there very firmly, but then what we're going to do after we get this all in here is we're going to put it in the oven, the preheated oven, and we're going to let it bake for about 10 to 15 minutes. We don't want it to cook through. We just want it to get a little firm because we don't want the cheesecake to soak into there and have that get soggy. So that's the first part, and we're going to put it in the oven, and we're going to just bake it for about 10 to 15 minutes. While the crust is in the oven, we're going to start making the filling part, the cheesecake part. So I'm taking 6 8-ounce packages of cream cheese. Again, all of the ingredients in this have been sitting out, and they're all at room temperature. This is soft. And we're going to put that into the mixer. I use the flat beater for this. I do not use the whisk beater because I do not want to add a lot of air to the cheesecake. I like it a little bit more dense. Somebody I know doesn't like a cakey cream cheesecake or cheesecake. They like a creamy cheesecake. So I'm doing the flat batter. And what I do is I use, for every package of cream cheese that I use 1/4 cup of sugar, 1 egg, and a little bit of vanilla and a little bit of sour cream. I usually add a 1/4 cup of sour cream for every package of cream cheese also. So I actually have to get another 1/2 cup of cream cheese, sour cream out. But this is 6 8-ounce packages of cream cheese. Again, why do I use so much cream cheese? Because I use a bigger pan. So we're going to start with the cream cheese, and we're going to just start the mixer and make this until it is smooth. Okay, so I've scraped down the bowl, and I make sure that the cream cheese is smooth. Then I turn it down a little bit and incorporate the sugar. Pour the sugar in and let the sugar mix in. You're going to have to scrape down the paddle and the bowl. And you're going to have to do that several times. But I slowly add the sugar in. And a little bit of vanilla.
How much approximately is that vanilla?
I'm going to say about 2 teaspoons of vanilla.
Right.
Again, do I ever measure that? No. You see how nice and smooth and creamy that is?
If I wanted to make this a flavored cheesecake.
Oh, that's a whole nother episode.
Oh, okay.
We'll do that another day. What flavor would you like it to be?
I would like a dulce de leche, but...
well, you want caramel in it, and what else would you like included?
I don't know, maybe a nut.
I make a fabulous...
but a nut crust.
Oh, I make nut crust.
Yeah.
And the nut crust is made exactly the same way as the crust that I made just a few minutes ago. The only thing is I add crushed nuts to it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's made exactly the same way. But a dulce de leche, I would actually make this, and then rather than mixing in the caramel, I would swirl the caramel through before I put the batter into the pan. But let me get the sour cream. I have 1 cup of sour cream. I'm going to need another 1/4 cup. But while I'm letting this mix in this cup, I'll get another 1/4 cup of sour cream. And that's just got to go like that.
Would be really nice if you had Rachel Ray's assistants that had the 1/4 cup of sour cream.
Yeah, well, it would be nice if I had any assistance. I always spoon the sour cream into the measuring cup so that there aren't any voids in it, and make sure you get the full amount of sour cream that you want. I make sure I use the full fat cream cheese, and I found Philly cream cheese is the best. You can use the store-bought cream cheeses or the store brand cream cheeses or one of the other types. I have found that they don't make as good a product as the Philly brand cream cheese. You see how smooth this is?
Fat is very important in our family. The full fat.
Full fat is very important.
Important.
Yes, it is. As this is mixing, I'm going to add my eggs. I'm going to break 1 egg at a time and add 1 egg at a time so it mixes in. Again, I have it on a slow speed because I don't want to add a lot of air to my cheesecake. I just want to make everything mix together and make sure that it gets all blended together. Another thing I use is I always use grade A large eggs when I bake. So this is just about done. I got to make sure that the sides are scraped down, that there's no cream cheese left on the side, and it's all scraped down. Mix it up a little bit, and we're going to get the crust out of the oven. Okay, so we have the crust out of the oven. It's been cooking for about 10 minutes. And like I said, we just want to make it a little bit hard so that it doesn't get soggy when I put this in there. I'm cleaning the batters to make sure I get all the cream cheese off of them. And then make sure I have everything scraped up off the bottom, off the sides of the pan. Now in this pan, and you can see what it is used for because there's a line around it, is the pan that I use, and I make a water bath. So I fill this with water just up to the base of my rack, and then I put my pan on top of there, and I'm going to pour the batter into that. And what that does is that stops the cake from splitting. The moisture in the oven from the steam helps your cake cook and stops it from cracking. I don't do it when I make my mini cheesecakes, and one of these days I'll do that recipe for you. It's very similar to this.
No, thank you.
But
They're cakey.
they are a little bit more cakey. I don't know, are we just making recipes that you like?
Yes. Yes. I mean, I'm the one who's editing the videos. If the recipes I don't like don't wind up on YouTube, I can't say it's my fault.
God, what I like to do is take this and get the air out of it. And now you see why I use a big pan and 6 packages of cream cheese, because this is almost filled to the top.
During quarantine, this will serve 3 people roughly 2 days worth of cheesecake.
The cheesecake should go into the oven. It's a 350-degree oven. I usually let this cheesecake, the size and depth of this cheesecake, cook for about an hour and a half. You'll see if it stops wiggling when you move it, and it starts to get a little bit browned around the edges, light brown, not dark brown. Then you know your cheesecake is done. But a cheesecake is also better when it's refrigerated overnight. So I'll make it today, and you really should make a cheesecake a day in advance. It's better if it's refrigerated a day ahead of time, and it gets actually a little bit better that way. So that's our cheesecake, and I hope you enjoy.